Hello beautiful people, welcome to Chandoo.org channel. Recently my wife Jyotsna, she asked me an interesting question. She said, can I ask you something? And I said, yeah sure, go ahead. And then she said, it's a question about pivot tables. I was like, okay, so what is it? And then she said she has got some data where there is quite a bit of information. For example, 3 different levels. So think of some sort of products that are sold to customers that live in different cities, right? So you got customer, city, and then product, and these combinations can exist in any number of cities. So we got about more than 70 customers, 50 cities, and a dozen plus products. So there is a lot of information, and she wanted to know what is the best way to make a pivot report out of it. Now I'll show you what happens when you make a regular pivot from it. It will tend to be quite a large pivot table, and then that can be an issue, right? For example, if I go with 3 levels, customer, city, and product, and then we try to put the quantity there, we're gonna end up with a pivot table that is 5,000 rows, right? You might say, oh, maybe move something to the columns. You would still have a very large pivot table, right? There is no easy way to visualize all the information that is there. You know, if you zoom it down, you can see, but because of all these blanks that happen, the matrix format tends to be quite a poor way to understand this data. We are not talking about making any charts here, just a simple good old pivot table. So how do you deal with this problem? What are the best practice ideas? Now, when it comes to such large data, normally there is no hard and fast rule. It all depends on what your audience or customer or colleagues are looking for, and then you give that. But I thought I'll make a video just highlighting 5 common pivot table techniques that you can apply when you got such vast multi-level data that you need to make a pivot for. Think of this like an inspiration, and then go and use this either for large data sets or small or mixed data sets, whatever may be the case. So let's go and review this. The pivot table 1 is where we make a pivot with the slicer. So I made this for my full screen, but now we are trying to record this on a smaller screen, so I'm zooming it down. It's still quite readable, and what we are doing is we got either customer or product on the rows, and then the other one in the column, and the third item as a slicer. This will be still a manageable pivot report, right? Or you can kind of understand what's going on, and if you apply some sort of a good formatting, like, you know, applying from design a pivot table theme that is more reasonable, like this one, and then highlighting banded rows so that every other row is in a different color and it makes it readable, and maybe consider adding a little bit of conditional formatting just to bring important values into attention, you know, if you want. And then this gives you everything that you want, and then you can go in and drill down to an individual city. For example, I can see what's happening in Dallas or Long Beach or New York, right? The advantage of this method is that it kind of changes the conversation from show me everything to pick the customer or city first, and then we will show you that report. So this is the first variation. You can also multi-select with slicers. You can click on that little handy button, and then you know, that way, you know, if by default it's clicking one at a time, but if you select multi-select, then I can click on Austin, Boston, and then San Diego, and New York, and Long Beach, and I can see those values, right? So this is one powerful technique. The second approach is we don't want to show everything. We want to kind of create a collapsible pivot report that just shows the best customer per city, right? I said company, but it's customer per city. So how do you go about creating this? What we do is we put city, and then customer, and then product as well in 3 columns, just the way it is, and then we go to the customer value filter, top 10, and from here we simply say show me the top 1 customer with sum of quantity, or whatever may be the summary thing that you're using. This will switch the conversation in a way that you're not showing all the hundreds of customers we got, you're just showing the best one or the worst one. You could change this to top 3 or one of those things, and if you want to know the details of that customer, you can expand and then see. So these collapse expand buttons are another powerful way. When you normally add them, they are expanded, and then to collapse you have to do one at a time. But you can also use this select the customer and then say, where is the, sorry, these buttons, they would be annotated on a full screen mode. So you can simply say expand everything, that'll expand everything, or collapse everything, they'll collapse that. So this is another very interesting and powerful way to visualize or showcase what's happening without overwhelming like a 5,000 row pivot. The third pivot is this is again something that I normally do, which is when you have so much of data, there is no need to show everything. You can make three simple pivots, one focusing the discussion on customer, another on product, and third one on city. And because pivot tables have built-in drill down option, that means if I see that number 1989 in Camido for the customer, and I want to know what makes up that number, I just have to double click and then I'll get the combinations that add up to that, right? So this is one way. Obviously when you are double clicking, you have to remember to delete this because you don't want to create copies of data unnecessarily, but that's one more way to showcase this. The fourth idea is product type as columns and cities as rows with percentage. So for this, what I did is I introduced an extra table called top products, right? So the way I did it is I used one of these pivots. I selected the products because they're sorted by the amount. I thought, you know, these three are my top three products and the rest is my normal products, right? So I went to the data. I have added an extra table, unhide. So and then this is my product list, all the products, then the quantity rank, and then based on the rank I defined whether it is a top three or other product. Okay, once these two are there, then I went to data relationships and I linked this table with my original data. So on the data product column I linked product types product column. The second table is called product types, by the way, right? So once these are linked, then we can make a pivot table. I'll simply show it to you from scratch here. We can insert a pivot table from the data model. When you just go to a blank sheet and say insert pivot table, it automatically picks, if there is any workbook data model, it picks that. So here I can see both tables, and what I want to do is, for example, I want to see by customer how much they buy, how much they are buying in other products and how much they're buying in top three, like this. And because top three should be in the front, we can move this around like that, and then we get this. This is my that, and then I can add city at a report filter level so that we end up with that. And then we can also go one step further, and rather than looking at the number, we can also see for example summarize values as show value as percentage of row total. So I can see by percentages, and then to add a little more information here, I can apply conditional formatting. Usually when you do this, it will only apply to one cell, but you can stretch it by selecting the third option. That will apply for the entire pivot table, and quickly, you know, format it. For example, because it has a pivot table there, we normally just leave it like that. With conditional formatting, there is no need to have banded rows because that tends to be too confusing. And one more thing, maybe you don't want that precision there, you can just go to value field settings, number format, and then from here quickly reduce this to 0 decimals, and that will give you that pivot, right? So this is how you can add that kind of extra detail of top three and other products just by introducing an extra table that that categorizes. It can be top three or other, or it could be, you know, you could define some sort of an arbitrary grouping mechanism, like these are our A category products and these are B category products, etc. And the fifth one is two-level pivot with first letter based search. This is again my favorite, especially for things like customer names or vendor names. Usually you would have a list of massive or product names, probably hundreds of items, and then to get into the specific details it can be hard. So you can introduce a first letter idea. It's very simple. All you have to do is go to your data and then pick the first letter using left function. Left of customer name comma 1 will give me the first letter, and then once that is there, we can introduce that as a slicer in the pivot table, and that's my first letter and it is a slicer. And right now we are looking at B customers. So these are the customers, that's their quantity, and then that's how that numbers add up into various cities, right? So it's kind of a two-level pivot. Obviously this will not drill down here. If you want that, what you would need is you would need to add another slicer. So I'll show you how that would work. For example, here you can go and then say add as a slicer, and this will show me those customers alone. Now depending on the Excel version you have, either the unavailable items, because in B only these people are shown, all of these are not available, they are shaded out, but you can go to slicer settings and then hide items with no data option is available. This is not available in all versions of Excel, so it doesn't technically give you that two-level thingy in all versions, but if you do have that, then you can apply this. So you can say C, and then you can have Camido and Corgi box, and then I can get into that person, or W, like this. So this is a very elegant way to solve that kind of a problem where you have hundreds of values and you just don't want to make a single slicer because that tends to look quite messy. And then you can use either alphabets, first letter, or some other distinct parameter that can introduce some sort of a hierarchy into the data. So these are my five pivoting options when you have complex data. I'll just do a quick recap. Pivot 1 is just using a slicer and then doing a matrix so everything can fit into the screen. Pivot 2 is just showing top 1 customer or top 1 city or top 1 product. Pivot 3 is 3 individual pivots with the ability to drill down so that you can select a number, double click, and then see the corresponding information. Pivot 4 is to introduce an arbitrary table that ranks products or something else based on your criteria, and then use that as a relationship to make this kind of a pivot. And the last one is to use first letter of a column to provide two-level search thing like this. So I hope you like this video, and please go ahead and try some of these ideas or mix and match them with some of your complex data, and use it as part of your ongoing database reporting. Not visuals, but sometimes we are often required to produce this kind of data, solve these data requests as well. So go and give that a try. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you again next video. Bye bye.